Hello, we'll come back to this another tutorial. So it's for the most specifically the basic of the script simple type. By end of the video, you will have a solid understanding of how to use for the simple type in the TypeScript. Okay, so first of all, introduction to the TypeScript, the simple type. Okay, so first thing, for the simple type in TypeScript. So the simple types are the building blocks of your data, and they include four basic data type like number, string, booleans, and the more. Okay, so there are main three primitive JavaScript and the TypeScript for the boolean, number, and string. Okay, and there are also two less common primitive used in later version for the JavaScript and the TypeScript for the big, in, and the simple. Okay, so the type assignment is creating a variable. There are two main ways for the JavaScript assigned for explicit and implicit. Okay, so now I'm creating for the in this two variable. Create for the first name is the type of a string key. So first of all, I'm creating as the explicit. Okay, so I'm going for the app.ts. Okay, see here I'm first of all type the let for first name. Okay, and create for clone. So it's a type for a string type. Then create equal. So suppose I'm just name for is Smith. Okay, and then create for the semicolon. So this is created. So I'm just going for the next line and create for the console.log. Okay, so log and create parenthesis and double quotation. So in this insert, I'm just to show for the first name. Okay, and last one create for the semicolon. Okay, so now save this code and going for the terminal, open new terminal. So here I'm just force type the. Okay, so just opening. So here first of all I'm type tsc, the folder name for app.ts. Okay, so here in this the I mistakenly created. So here I'm just carefully created for tsc, then app.ts. Okay, and here open for the new comment. So now I'm just type for node, then space, so app.js. Okay, so here's perfect issue for the output is the first name. Okay, so it's print for the first name is perfectly, so it's the string type. Okay, so next one I'm going for the implicit type. So here I'm just create for the implicit type. We'll get the type and based on the assigned of value. Okay, so here I'm open for the new partial. Okay, so this is okay. So now I'm just create for the second step the implicit type created. Okay, so first of all I'm going for here in this code insert created already the first name and the string. So here I'm just change for in this the colon for a string name. Okay, so just I'm sure for the in this me. So here I'm going for a console.log, and in this insert I'm forced to remove for in this double quotation, and okay, and in this tab I'm forced type the type type of function. Okay, and insert for this. So now I'm again save this code and going for in this terminal, and just create for the command for tsc, then app.ts. Okay, and press for the enter. So here just open, just waited. So next command I'm just type for a node, then app.ts. this, okay, and press for the enter. So it's pinned for the string. This means the name is string type, okay. So this is the output. So I'm going for the next step and get for the error in the type assignment, okay. So the Typescript will throw an error if data is not met, okay. So now I'm going for in this code inside. So here now I'm create for the type assignment for false name, okay. So here I'm already created for this and I'm inserted for again the string type, okay. So the name is Smith, and here I'm just insert shit for the new line for the false name is equal for 42, okay. And in this atom for assign for the value, so I'm just going for here and just remove for the type of, okay. So the last one creates for the semicolon, okay. So here, because in this error for is create for the atom to reassign for the value, okay. So now here I'm falsely the take as to false create the false name is a string type, and then false the name is equal, and then console.log, okay. So it's a create for the error in Typescript, okay. So now I'm going for the next step and create for the unable to info, okay. So the Typescript may not always is perfectly info what the types of a variable may be. In such case, it will set the type of and initiate the disable type taking, okay. So first of all, I'm create for the implicit as this and pass does not know what type of data it returns, so it can be anything, okay. So first of all, I'm remove for in all code, okay. So now I'm create falsely the constant, okay, and then type for the JSON, so it's equal. I'm create again the JSON dot birth, okay, and create. So first of all, I'm create the double quotation. So in this insert, for the value is 60, okay, then semicolon. So now I'm create for the most expected value JSON to the object, but it can be string or the number, like this example. So now here I'm creating for the console dot log, and in this insert I'm creating for the type of for JSON, okay, and lastly create for the semicolon, okay. So this behavior can be disabled by enabling for the no implicit any as an option in a TypeScript project for the tsconfig.json, okay. So that is a config file for the customizing how some of the TypeScript behaves, okay. So now I'm just save this code and going for in this terminal. So first of all, get for the tsc, then app.ts, okay. So open for the new command. So now I'm type for the node, then a space for add.js, okay. So just press for enter, so it's a number printed. So the constant JSON is indicate for the numbers, okay. So this is the output for in this code, okay. So I'm understanding in this code. So and here I'm create perfect the value of variable to be either in number or string for and print a type in this. So I hope it's brief about through the overview of the TypeScript in the simple types. So I hope you're understanding and helpful for in this session. So thank you for watching for TypeScript goodness, okay. So again, thank you for watching and happy coding. Hope you will come back to this another tutorial. So in this session, I'm created for the TypeScript for special types, okay. So by the end of this video, we will have a solid understanding of these unique types. Okay, so first of all, the understanding for any and the unknown types. Okay, so let's start with the two types of that can represent for any value and the unknown. Okay, so first of all, created is both for the any and unknown types. Okay, so now firstly, create for any type data. Okay, so first of all, type the let, then type for any type. Okay, and create for clone. So insert the any is equal. So here insert for the value is 42. Okay, so now I'm just type for the any type is equal, create for the double quotation the okay. So firstly, type the Typescript is first start type. Okay, and then create lastly the semicolon. Okay, so here is create for the any type. So I'm just open for the print function for console.log and create for double quotation. So here I'm just type for the any type. Okay, and then last one create for semicolon. Okay, so I'm just take it. So first of all, save this code and going for here. Firstly, type the tsd for app.ts. Okay, and open for the new command. So here just open. So now I'm type for the node, then a space .js. Okay, so here is print for the output for the Typescript is versatile. Okay, so this is the output. It's completely created. So now create for the unknown type. Okay, so here I'm just going for the next line and then type for the let. Okay, so just remove. So just going for here and then type for let and type is unknown type and create for clone. So here I'm just type for the unknown is equal for 20. Okay, and then going for in this console inside. So here I'm just type for the unknown. Okay, so the unknown type. So I'm just remove for start type. Okay, so here this is created. So now I'm save this code and going for again terminal. So now you firstly type for the tsc for app.ts. Okay, and open for the new terminal. So here I'm just type for the node, then space for f.js. Okay, so now it's perfectly print for the output is 20. Okay, so this is it's completely created for the understanding any and unknown type. Okay, so now I'm created for. So here I'm just create assign and value to a variable, making it flexible but less time for save. So on the other hand, unknown is more restrictive and you can need to perform the type checking before using in a specific way. Okay, so now I'm going for the next step and create for the void and enable type. Okay, so I'll explore for two special types used for the function, the void and the enable. Okay, so first of all, I'm going for here. Okay, so now create. So first of all, create for the function. Okay, so I'm label for in this code, in this all code. So first of all, type the function, then type for is say hello. Okay, and create for the parenthesis and also type for clone, and it's a type for the void. Okay, and create for the curly braces. So now create for is console.log, and in this insert I'm create parentheses, second type for the double quotation. So I'm just type for is hello. Then type is Typescript, okay. So now it's created, and last one created for the semicolon, okay. So in this section is completed, and then I'm going for the never type section, okay. So here I'm just type for again the function, and then type for it the throw arrow, okay. So now is a throw arrow is created, and in this insert I'm just type for the message, okay, and its message type for the string type, okay, and then also create for the clone. So now I'm used for is the neighbor function and create for the curly braces. So now I'm create for is the throw, then type for new, and here I'm just type for the error, okay. So this error for the message, okay, and closely create for semicolon. So unfortunately create for the void is commonly used for the function that does not return for a value, okay. So on the other hand, the neighbor is used for the function that never finish executing. So usually function with infinite loops or this that throw errors, okay. So now I'm saving this code and going for in this terminal. So first of all, I'm type the tsc for app.ts, okay. Open for the new command line, okay. So now I'm type for node, and then type is app.js, okay, and press for the enter. See here is open for is another command. So okay. So I'm just going for in this the start debugging for in this node.js, okay. So here is error. So first of all, I'm just create here, and this again take it is clone, okay. So I'm just remove. So I'm just here so debugging. See here in this field for save app.js, okay. So it's a node matter. Again going for the terminal and open for new terminal, okay, and then again inserted for. So first of all, in this copy just remove, okay, and in this code falsely save. So now I'm going for here, and then type for tsc, then app.ts, and press for enter. So here is open for the new command, and then type for the node, then type is app.js, okay. So here's open for again the terminal. So now is the create for tsc, then app.ts. So here is a countless continuously created for in this console the terminal, okay. Okay, so I'm just here in this I'm just pick copy for this, paste this code, so it's complete for to special for the types for void and never type, okay. And I'm also created here for the null and undefined type, okay. So let's talk about the null and undefined for two types represent for absence of value, okay. So now first of all, I'm going for in this code inside and do for this code. So here I'm just a type for let, then type is for null, type, okay, and then create a colon for null, and is equal for again type for the null value, okay, and then again type for let, and just type for the undefined type, okay, undefined type, and then colon. So I'm again type for is the undefined, and is equal create for the undefined, okay. So here this code is completely for null and undefined type. So null and undefined type, this for a present the absence of value, and they are often used with a variable for, or the property is intentionally left for uninstalled, okay. So I'm just take it. So this code is working or not working. This so that I'm just type for is a console.log, and in this insert just type for the null type, okay, and then take. So here save this code and going for in this browser, in this terminal. So I'm just type for tsc for app.ts, okay, and then open for here, then type is for node, then app.js, okay. So it's perfectly print for the null value is inserted. So I'm just change it. So here insert from, remove from null, and under insert create for the undefined type, okay. So next on type I'm just remove. So here save this code and just going for again here, and then type for tsc for app.ts, and again insert the command is a node for app.js, okay. So it's completely show on this screen for the output is the undefined, okay. So this is the output. So I'm completely created for the an expression of the TypeScript for the special type. So it's a completely property for intentionally left uninitialized variable, okay. So I hope you enjoy in this session and completely created for your code. So thank you for watching and happy coding, and see you in the next tutorial. We'll come back to today's another tutorial. So in this session I'm created for the TypeScript array, okay. So now let's get started and perfectly create for the TypeScript array. So first of all, the array of the fundamental is any programming language. So in the TypeScript it come with for some powerful feature. Let's begin with the basic, okay. So first of all I'm creating for the declaring arrays, okay. So now let's get going for in this code insert and just type for let, then type is for the numbers colon, and create for the number, and index, and is equal just insert for some numbers 3, 4, and 5, okay, and create for the clone, okay. So here I'm just a type for the console dot log, and create for the parentheses, and in this insert just a type print for the numbers, okay, and then is a semicolon, and now save this code and going for in this terminal insert and just a type for the tsc for app.ps, okay, and then again type for the node for app.js and press for it. Just perfectly sure for the output is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, and 5, okay. So here is print for the numbers, okay. So now just again type for the late and use for suppose first, okay, first, and create for is the array, here's array, then create for string, okay, and create for is equal, then index. So first of all just type double quotation, and in this insert for is the apple, and then type for the orange, okay. So now lastly create for the semicolon. So first of all, declare for the array of the numbers and the string. So the full syntax uses the type followed by square bracket, and second syntax used for the generate array type. Okay, so now I've set this code and going for the terminal, and first of all type the tsc for app.ts. okay, and open for the new command. So now again type for node then app.js. okay, so here is open. Okay, so I'm not changed here, so I'm just here change for is the first. Okay, so now add this first for the string type. So now just type for the type of, here is started for the first. Okay, so it's a not, it's the error. So it's declared for only the first because the string type. So I'm going for the next step and create for the read only keyword configuration for array from being changed. Okay, so now I'm firstly remove this code and going for here out. So here I'm just firstly the constant. Okay, and then type for the names is a clone used for the read only string. Okay, read only, then type for is the string, then index. So now here I'm just type is equal create for the index inside double curly braces. So now is name is the Johan. Okay, and then create for the semicolon. So now I'm just type for the names dot is for the push method. So now I'm just push for the name is Smith. Okay, and then create for the semicolon. Okay, so now I'm just type for removing for the read only modifier and see if it will work. So now first of all I'm type the console.log and create for the names and lastly type for the semicolon. Okay, so here I'm just inserted for the names is the push method. Okay, so here in this for the push for the arrow property, the push does not exist on type for the read only keyword. Okay, so now it's create completely for the read only keyword step. So now I'm going for the next step and create for the type inference. Okay, so the type inference can infer the type of an array if it has the values. Okay, so now first of all I'm going for here and just change it. So now I'm going for just remove for this code and newly type for the constant. Okay, so constant and then type for is the numbers is equal. So I'm just insert for the numbers is 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, and then create for semicolon. So here create for the inferred to type of the numbers. Okay, so now I'm going for the next step and just type for the numbers dot push function and then parentheses. So now I'm inserted from the 6. Okay, and then lastly create for the semicolon. So here you take you see here is not error. Okay, so previous example I'm face for here the error. Okay, so now I'm create and the successful assignment created. Okay, so first of all I'm going for here and then create for the console. Okay, so now I'm just insert from the numbers and again type for the numbers dot use the push function and now it's create parentheses and then double quotation inserted from the 2, okay, and then create for the semicolon. So here is inserted for the arrow, okay. So now I'm going for here and just type for the console.log, then parenthesis, and in this insert I'm just type for the numbers, okay. I lost the kit for the semicolon, okay. So firstly copy this and cut this code. So now I'm save this code and going for here. So first of all type is the tsc for app.ts, okay, and press for the enter. So append for the new command. So now I'm just type for node, then app.ts, okay. So it's perfectly installed for push for the value is 6, okay. So this is the output. So now I'm just input for the previous code for push is 2 because here inserted for the double quotation is not valid, okay. So here is the argument of type for error string is not inserted, okay. So now going for the next step and create again for a let is head, then create for clone and then type for the number is equal, insert from the numbers index 0, okay. So here is no error and create for the semicolon. So I'm again take for this code, type for console.log and create for the parentheses and just type for the head, and then here is the semicolon, okay. So I'll remove for in this 2. So just save this code and going for in this insert. So firstly type for the tsc for app.ts and append for the new command. So now I'm just type the node, then app.js, okay. So here's perfectly sure for the output is hey, here it is 1, okay. So this is the output perfectly so is on the screen. So I hope you understanding in this session, and here I'm completely created for the Typescript array. Is a mastering size and enjoyable in this tutorial, okay. So thank you for watching and happy coding. We will come back to this another tutorial. So in this session I'm create for the tuple brings up well a new dimensions to array with the tuple elements, okay. So stick with the as we explore code and master the out of the Typescript tuple, okay. So first of all, the tuple are essentially arrays with a fixed number of elements, and each element can have its own type. So they provide a way to represent a collection of values, so where the code order and the type of each values are important, okay. So now this makes the perfect for scenario where an array's elements have a specific relationships or meaning, okay. So first of all create the assert accessing values and tuple. So the tuple values are the individually called for the item, okay, and the tuple are index based, okay. So this means the item is a tuple can be accessed using their corresponding numeric index, and the tuple item index start from 0 and extend up to n-1, okay. So now I'm creating for the simple tuple first, okay. So first of all I'm just type for var and type is my tuple, then is equal. So first of all type is index and then number, and now type for the hello, okay, and then type for the semicolon, okay. So now I'm going for the next line and type for the console.log, and here I'm called for the my tuple, and in this index in starting for the 0, and now again type for this console and just copy this console, okay, and paste for the next line. So here I'm just change for my tuple is 1, okay. So in this example I'm just tuple for my tuple is declare, and the tuple contains values and numerics and a string tab respectively. Okay, so first of all, I'm saying this code and going for the next step and open for the terminal. So here firstly I'm type the tsc and then also type the folder name is app.ts for the TypeScript, then enter and open for the new command. So first of all type is the node, then app.js for the JavaScript is extension and the press for the enter. So as you can see, the result is perfectly show. So first print number is 10 and second print for the message is hello. Okay, so first step is complete. So now I'm create for the empty tuple. In the empty tuple is generate the same code in JavaScript. So first of all, in same as so first of all I'm change my tuple. So firstly type the var is a variable for tuple, then equal for 0 index, empty index script. So first of all just type then index for 0, then equal insert the value is 12. Okay, and again insert create for the tuple as index 1, then equal just type for 25. So I'm just change here is for only tab up, and here is the same as 8 for the tab. Okay, so now complete in my code, then save this code and again going for the terminal. So now again use for this command. So now tsc for app.ts and I can press for the enter. So here's the pen for the new command, and now press for a node, then app.js and press for the enter and see on the screen the result is the first print for the 12 and the variables, and then secondly print for the 25. So generate the same code in JavaScript. So now I'm creating for the updating tuple. So the tuples are mutable, which means you can update or change the values of tuples element. Okay, so now I'm forced to remove this old code and insert the new code. So first of all type the var and call for my tuple and is equal create first the index number is 10, and then type for the message for hello, and also is for the TypeScript. Okay, so now declare for the TypeScript and then create for the semicolon. So here I'm just create for the tuple. Okay, so now upgrade the print function is console.log and then create a parenthesis, then double quotation. So now I'm just type for the message is tuple value at index for 0. Okay, and now use for the plus sign, then call for the my tuple. Okay, and then index insert for the 0. Okay, so here in this console is created, and then going for the next step I'm create for the update a tuple element. Okay, so first of all just type for my tuple, the index for 0, and previously insert for the 10, and now I'm insert for the 1 to 1. Okay, and then going for the next step and type for the console.log and then type for the message is the tuple. Okay, so first of all I'm just copy in this and paste for the updating console, and here I'm just type for the change to the space and the type for the plus sign and call for the my tuple, then index for 0. Okay, so now I'm completely created for in this code. So here type for semicolon, is as you wish for, but it's not used. So in this code is perfectly run. Okay, so now I'm just compiling. It will generate the same code in the JavaScript and show for the output on the screen. Okay, so first of all, I'm save this code and going from the terminal. So firstly, here type the first command is f.ts. Okay, and press for the enter. So here is open for the new command line. So now I'm just type for the node, then app.js. Okay, and press for the enter. So here perfectly show for the output the tuple value at index 0 to 10, and the tuple index change for 1 to 1. Okay, so this is the output. So in this, for the TypeScript tuple, I'm completely created, and there you have it. The TypeScript and has this for the tuple offer a structured way to handle array with a specific type and order. Okay, so if you enjoy in this exploration into the TypeScript tuples, okay, so thank you for watching and happy coding. Well, we will come back to this another tutorial. So in this station, I'm creating for the TypeScript object types. Okay, so these are the crucial part of creating a structure and flexible data model. Okay, so now let's stick out and let's explore the world of the TypeScript object. Okay, so first of all, the basic of understanding the TypeScript. So here the object type in the TypeScript web way to define the shape of object. Okay, so this ensures that our data adheres to a specific structure. Okay, so now first of all, I'm defining for the object tuples. Okay, so now I'm going for in this the visual code inside. So first of all, I'm just type and suppose for the name is person. Okay, and is equal create the color basis. So first of all, here I'm insert the name. So the name is string object. Okay, then also create the age and clone. So the age is the number type, and again create for the job. Okay, so a job is the question mark, then create clone, and here I'm just started. So the job is a string type, so is an optional property. Okay, so now in this here I'm just created for the semicolon, and lastly create again the semicolon. Okay, see here firstly defining for the object type. Okay, so now I'm just created for the late and or use for the name, suppose the employee, then clone. So I'm called for the person class. Okay, then again create the color basis. So first of all, here I'm just a type for the name. The name is create for the double collision, and here I'm insert for the name is Zuhan Smith, the first name and last name. Okay, so now I'm going for the next line and just create for the age. So the age is 25. Okay, and here I'm also declare for the job. So suppose I'm create the job is developer. Okay, so now this code is completely created and was created for the semicolon. Okay, so firstly I'm just define an object type for the person with the properties. So suppose the name is okay. So the job is the property is optional. Okay, then we create an object employee for adhering to this type. So now I'm sure for in this output. So first of all, I'm create for the print section is console.log, then create parentheses, and now I'm open for the employee data. Okay, and then semicolon. So now I'm save this code and going for the terminal. So now I'm open for the terminal and insert for the command. So first of all, I'm type the tsc for app dot Yes, okay. Here I'm just open for the new command. Now I'm type for the node, then app.js. Okay, so perfectly sure for the output. So here is pinned falsely. The name is Johan Smith. The age is 25 and job is a developer. Okay, so this is the output. Okay, so now I'm going for the next step and create for the read-only properties. Okay, so sometimes we want for certain the properties to be read-only. The TypeScript allows us to enforce this key. So now I'm going for in this code inside and perfectly create for this step. So first of all, I'm remove in this code. Okay, and now here I'm type the read-only properties. So first of all, I'm just type, and now I'm used for the point. Okay, and then it's equal kit for the color basis. So first of all, the type is the read-only properties for X. Okay, and create the clone, and now the properties inside the number. So again type for the read-only property, then the variable for y, and the y is also the number. Okay, and here create for the semicolon. Okay, so I'm just a type for the late, and here in this late for the I'm commenting for the line below with the result in completion error. Okay, so now firstly type the late and then type for the origin. Okay, so is origin inserted, so I'm just call for in this the print for the read-only property. So now I'm insert for the some value and a variable. So first of all, I'm just type for X clone for 0, and also for Y clone is 0. Okay, and create for the semicolon. See here in this for the completion error for the origin. So the origin is x.1. Okay, so I'm just inserted with 1, and here in this one. Okay, so because here is the same as it now here is a declare for the uncommenting for the completion error for in this the origin. So in this for the origin, a false defined for the point type with the read-only property for X and Y on an object is assigned, so it can modify these properties. Okay, so in this step is completed. So then I'm going for the next step and get for the extending object type. Okay, so the extending object types allow us to build on existing structure and create more complex type. Okay, so I'm just going for the previous code. Okay, so just a select and okay, so I'm going and create for the previous code. Okay, so first of all, I'm just select in this and just Ctrl Z. Okay, and here inserted for the previous code. Okay, so previously insert create for the first step is the defining for the object type. Okay, so I'm just simple modify and create for the extending object type. Okay, so first of all here I'm previously create for the type person, and then here I'm just type for the employee. Okay, so is the employee, and then create for is the equal sign. So now here in this the equal sign I'm remove and insert for the and sign. Okay, so in this is the person. So first of all I'm just remove and this code and newly create for the employee ID. Okay, and create for the clone. So is the so first of all is ID and create clone. So now the ID, the employee ID is the string type, okay, and lost string case for the semicolon. So I'm going for here and in this create for the new employee, okay. So now it's created for the new employee, and here I'm changed for the employee, okay. So now it's declared for this one. So here just inserted for the name is the Johan due, and then age is 25, and the job is the developer, okay. So here we extend for the person type to create an employee table type with an additional employee ID is a property, okay. And this ensures that new employee has both the states of the properties, okay. So now I'm again the take as first of all type the employee and then a equal sign. So here the person the error this for the unsolved they cannot find this name is the person, okay. So here I'm just create for the print section is console.log, and also create for I'm just open for the new employee and then create for the semicolon, okay. So here I'm just take it and save this code and going for here, because in this output for error, but here is the person the red sign, so here you cannot find in this code, okay. So this is for the late then, so I'm going for here just take it, okay. dsc for app.ts and open for the new command. So here is error for the two type error for the person and option, okay. So I'm already declare for in this code for error because is the extending object type, okay. So it is not show for the output, and here in this the error, okay. So I hope you're understanding for the object tuples. So the TypeScript object tuples is the demonstrated, okay. So it's great for the extent for the person type. So I hope you enjoying this session and completely create for your code. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Come back to this another tutorial. So in this station I'm created for the TypeScript Enums, okay. So it's the powerful feature that makes a code more usable and expensive, okay. So first of all, understanding for the enums is provide a way to define a set of named constant value. So this makes our code more robust and self-documenting, okay. So let's get started. Firstly, create the basic enum, okay. So the firstly just type the enum and then type for the direction, okay. So the direction, and now I'm good for the color basis. So first of all, I'm just type is the, then also type for the down, okay, and then type for the left, and also type for the right, okay, is a direction. So in the step is created, and then I'm going for the next step and type for the late for my direction, okay, and get for colon and then call for in this direction is equal for so just I'm open for direction up, okay. So now this up I create and lastly create a semicolon, okay. So in this code just define a basic iteration with the 4 values, and my direction is then the assigned the direction up value, and I'm stored for indexing from 0 by default, okay. So now I'm just type for the console dot log and get for the parenthesis, and I'm just open for the my direction, okay, and get for the semicolon. So I'm just save this code and just going for here. Then firstly I'm type the tsc for app dot es, okay, and open for the new command line. So now I'm just type for node, then app dot js for a JavaScript extension, and press for the enter. So it's perfectly correct for the indexing is the 0 is the by default, okay. So I'm just take for here in the right, okay. So I'm just type for the right and save this code, and going for again in this terminal, type for app.ts and open for the new command line. So here I'm just type for the node and then app.js and paste for the enter. So here is paste for the 3 because it's the up for 0 index and down for 1 and left for 2 and then right for 3 index, okay. So I'm perfectly complete in the first step for the basic enum. So I'm going for the next step and just create for the, suppose I'm used for the ref. Here is create the custom value with a string enums, okay. So enums aren't just limited to numerical value, so you can customize them and even use them string values for more descriptive options, okay. So first of all, going for in this code inside, so I'm just changed for in this enum. So here I'm inserted for the status, okay. So now it's create for the status, and then firstly remove for in this full type value. So firstly I'm type for the active, okay. Then its active is equal 1 and also create for the inactive, okay. It's the inactive for 0. So now in this the enum is created, and then I'm again created for the enum for suppose here, and then again type for is enum, then create for the log level, okay. It's the log level, then again create for the curly braces. So first of all I'm just type the info is equal, then create for the double quotation and write for the capital word is the info, okay. And then again type for the error, okay, and is equal and create for curly braces. So I'm just type for the error, okay. So again use for this, then type for the debug, okay, and then it's equal create for the debug, okay. So now it's perfectly inserted in this code. So now I'm going for here and in this late inside. So now in this first remove this. So first of all I'm type the my status, okay, and then create for is again for the status, and then it's equal for status dot active, okay. And then going for the next line and then again type for late, then type is for the log level and create for the clone, and also type for the log level is equal then log level dot is supposed to create for the info, okay. So here in this, the first of all just type this, then log, okay, and remove for this error. So I'm just here console in this log, and I'm just open for my status, okay. So just ejection is removed and inserted create for the my status, okay. So now completely created in this code. So I'm just save this code and going for the terminal. So firstly customize for the numeric values for the status and use string values for the log level. So is making our code more readable and meaningful. Okay, so first of all, I'm just first comment for the tsc for app.ts. Okay, and then start from open the new command. So now just type for the node, then app.js for the JavaScript and press for the enter. So here perfectly inserted for the one. So because here I'm already inserted the active code 1, so show for the output is 1. Okay, so now I'm going for the next step. So here I'm just type for the log level. Okay, and type for log level and then save this code. And again going for the terminal. So first of all, I'm just type for the tsc for app.ts, and again insert for the command. So now type for node, then app.js. Okay, press for the enter. So here is inserted from the log level. So here insert for the info. So this is the info. Okay, so I'm all completely correct in this code and perfectly step in this. So and there you have it. Is the TypeScript for the enum is the demonstrated. So I hope you're understanding the session and completely creative for this code. Okay, so thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more JavaScript wonders. Okay? We'll come back to today's another tutorial. So it's undefined for my stories of TypeScript Alias and the interface. Okay, so this is a powerful feature for the 11-hour course for the readability and the maintainability. So first of all, understanding the basic the TypeScript alias. Okay, so the alias provides a way to create a custom name for a type, and this not only simplify a complex type but also enhance code clarity. Okay, so first of all, I'm created for the type is aliases. Okay, so now just a type and create for the employee ID. Okay, so employee then ID, and create a SQL and ID is string type. So now I'm also again type, then create the employee name. Okay, so the name is also both for the string type. Okay, since this type is created, and then I'm created for the user is this. First of all, type the link, and then type falsely the employee, then ID is a small d, then also type for the employee ID, and here I'm insert for the ID name is for E1 to 3. Okay, and lastly create for the semicolon. So I'm just again type and create the late for the employee name. Okay, so in this for the employee name, so now first is the capital, this small word employee. Okay, so now I'm going for create for the colon, and here I'm also type the employee name. Okay, and then create for is equal, then double quotation inside here for the name is Sohan, and let's create for the semicolon. So here created for the alias for employee ID and then employee name for this string type. Okay, and it's making our code for more expensive and easier to understand. Okay, so now I'm created for the print function is console.log, and just to show for the output is only the employee ID. Okay, so here let's create for a semicolon. So now I'm just save this code and going for into the terminal. So first of all, I'm type the tsc for app.ts. Okay, and open for the new command. So now I'm type for node, then app.js and press for enter. So perfectly sure for the output is the E4123. Okay, so this is the employee ID. So in this the type for alias completely created, and then going for the next step and create for the TypeScript interface. Okay, so So let's shift our focus to the TypeScript interface. So that plays a crucial role is defining the structure of object in our code. Okay, so first of all, remove in this code. Okay, and newly create for interface for a point. Okay, so first of all, I'm just type the interface. Okay, is the interface and create for the point. Okay, and again, so now I'm just a type for is x clone, for is the number, and again type for y, then it's also for the number. Okay, and kit for the semicolon. So now I'm kit for the let. Okay, then type for the my point. Okay, and create for clone, and also type for the point is equal. I'm just insert for the some point is x for a 10, and y for is 20. Okay, and also kit for the semicolon. So now I'm just type for the print function is console.log. So I'm just print for my print function. Okay, I'll lastly create for the semicolon. So in this code, first of all, I'm defined for the interface point and x and y properties. And when we create an object based on the interface. Okay, so it must for the header to this structure. Okay, so first of all, save this code and going for the terminal. So here I'm just insert for the tsc, then app.ts, and also type for the next command for node, then app.ts. Okay, and press for the enter and see the output. So perfectly show for the output, and I'm already insert for the x for 10 and y for is 20. Okay, so it's complete for create the type of interface alias. Okay, so now I'm create the combining for alias and interface. So the real magic happens when you combine for the TypeScript, the alias and interface. It's like having a dynamic view for the type definition. Okay, so I'm going for the previous code just inserted here. So I'm just select in this code and just insert for the first create in this code, and just short modify and create the combining for the alias and interface. Okay, so previously I'm get only the employee ID. Okay, so now first of all, in this employee, so no. Okay, so now I'm just remove this and new create for the data in this code. So first of all, I'm just type I'm just is a type, then type is the employee info. Okay, and kit for is equal then curly braces. So first of all, I'm just the type is ID, the employee, enter employee ID. Okay, and also create for the name. So the name is employee, is the employee name. Okay, and create for the semicolon, and let's create for the semicolon. Okay, so first of all, I'm just a type for the employee info, then ID for the employee ID, and the name is the employee's name. Okay, so now I'm going for the next step and just type for the interface, the employee, is the employee, then extend. Okay, so extend for the employee info. Okay, and then again create for the curly braces. So in this insert, I'm just type for the role. The role is a string type, okay, and create for the semicolon. So now I'm create for the late, then type is the my employee. Is the my employee clone create the employee. So just is equal space equal and create the curly braces. So first of all, just type for ID is suppose inserted the ID for E is 1 to 3, okay. So then again create for the name, okay. So the name is, then the name is Juhan, okay, and again type for the role. The role is, so here just type for role. The role is a developer, okay. So now this developer is created. So first of all, insert here the ID for employee ID, and the name is the employee name, okay. So then create for the interface the extent of the employee info. The role is a string, and now uses for the late is my employee, then call for only employee, and then insert it for the ID and name, okay. So let's get for the semicolon, and here I'm just open for, then type for the console dot log, and just append for the my employee, okay, and create for the semicolon, okay. So firstly, in this code top and employee ID, so here in this perfectly in this here log to error console, okay. So I'm just type for E, and then here is E. So here this code for error because the employee cannot find the domain for the employee, okay. So I'm just going for here and insert for the employee. This is, so in this code is created for the employee info type using the alias and extend it in the employee interface, okay. This way we get the base of both worlds, okay. So in this station for the my employee is created for the combined for the alias and the interface, the TypeScript. So, and there you have it in the TypeScript alias and the interface, the demystifying, and create for completely singly create for the alias type of alias, and then create for the type of interface, okay. So I hope you're understanding in this session. So thank you for watching, and happy coding. Back to today's another tutorial. So in this session, I'm creating for the TypeScript, the union types, okay. So these are the versatile types allow us to work with a value that can take more than one type, okay. So first of all, the introduction to the union types. The TypeScript is the union type in a value as to express that a value can have all of the several type, and this flexibility enhance our code for the robustness and adaptability, okay. So first of all, I'm going for in this state the Visual Code Studio and the type for basic union types, okay. So first of all, just type is a late, and then type is also the result, and create for clone. So here I'm just falsely type the number and use for the or sign the string, okay. And now create for the result is equal for 42 is the valid, and then create for the result and equal for, then table condition inside create for the hello is a type is a TypeScript, okay, and create for the semicolon is both for the valid, and now I'm create for the print function in console.log, and I'm just print for the result, okay, and create for the semicolon, okay. So first of all, in this code, create for the result can be either a number or a string, giving us the freedom to assign values of either types, okay. So trying to assign a boolean, however, would take a type error, okay. So now first of all, save this code and going for in this terminal. So first of all, use first command the tsc for f.ts, okay, and then going often for the new command. So now just type for the node, then app.js, okay, and press for the enter. So perfectly sure for the output is hello JavaScript, okay. And then just open for then app.js. So here's auto generated for in this function, for in this the hello for TypeScript, okay. So here perfectly created for in this for station for the union basic of union, okay. So now I'm just going for the next step and create for the combining the union types and the type allies, okay. So let's take it up a node by combining union types with the TypeScript for the type allies. So this provides for even more clarity and consistency in our code, okay. So now let's get started and create for this most attractive code, okay. So first of all, I'll bring for in this old code, and then type for is a type, and then use for the result type, okay, and here this equal and false type is a number, then our sign for is the string, okay. And now I'm create for the function, and suppose create the process result, okay, and create for the parentheses. So in this insert, I'm just type for the result, then clone. So now I'm called for in this the result type, okay. So now I'm create for the clone. So suppose the type is the valid, then parentheses, okay. So now perfectly remove for in this error. So now I'm create for the print function is console.log, okay. So in this insert, first create the result and then type for the result function, okay, and create for the semicolon. So in this code outside, I'm create for the uses for this data is valid or not valid. So first of all, I'm type for the process result. Insert for the value is 42, okay, and also insert again a type for the process result. So suppose create the success, okay, success, and then create for the semicolon. So complete for in this code. So first of all, here I'm just create a result type alias and making our function for the signature more expensive. So it's except a value that it can be either a number or a string. Okay, so now save this code and going for the terminal. So first of all, create the first command is app.ts, and again in input for the next command for a node, then app.js, okay. So press for the enter. So perfectly sure for the output, the first result is 42 and the second result is the success, okay. So this is the output. Still the station for the TypeScript in I'm completely created for the two-way, okay. So firstly, I'm created the simple for the union, and secondly, used for the alias and combine created for the union and alias, okay? And perfect for the output. So session I'm completely create and type is script for union types in a nutshell. So I hope you understanding in this session and complete create understanding in this code, okay? So thank you for watching and happy coding. Hello everyone, welcome back to just another tutorial. So in this session kit for the TypeScript functions, okay? So either you are a beginner or a seasonal developer, so understanding for the functions in the TypeScript is a crucial. So let's get started. So first of all, understanding to the TypeScript function. The functions are the backbone of any programming language. The TypeScript brings the additional feature to the table, enhancing our ability to write a robust and maintainable code, okay? So first of all, create the basic of functions, okay? So now let's get started. So first of all, type only the function, and type for the common is great, and in this insert firstly type the name, and the name is the string type, okay? So in this also kit for the clone, so now again type for the string and kit for the parenthesis, okay? So now perfectly kit first at the function, and then kit is a great and the name, okay? So here the small word for in, okay? So I'm going for in this code insert and just type for is the return. So this return, and suppose first of all create the single conditions, okay? So here just type for this sign, and here first type the hello, okay? And kit for comma, so in this insert kit for the curly braces, okay? So first of all type the $sign, then curly braces. So in this insert kit for the name, okay? And perfectly remove for in this error. So and lastly create for the semicolon. So here is create for the basic function. So now I'm create for the construct, okay? And type for the great thing, okay? It's a greeting, then create a clone for a string, then is equal, just type for the great, and in this insert and firstly type the double quotation and kit for the TypeScript, okay? So the TypeScript is created and then create for the semicolon, and now is for the print a function for console.log. Then perfectly type the greeting, okay, and then semicolon. So in this code, first of all define a simple function for grade that takes a name parameter of the type string and the return a greeting string, okay? So the function is then called with the argument for the TypeScript. So now save this code and going for the new terminal. So first of all create the first command for tsc for app.ts, okay? And then open for the new command line and insert first type the node and then app.ts and place for the enter, and see the output for the hello TypeScript, okay? So this is the output. So in this the first step is completed, and then I'm going for the next step and kit for the optional add default parameter. So the TypeScript allows us to make a parameter for the optional or provide for default value, and giving us for the more flexibility and how do we use the function, okay? So first of all remove this code and kit for the new code, and here just type for the function, then type for the grade width options, okay? Grade width option, and also type first type the name. The name is string type, okay, and also type the greeting is greeting, then create a for clone, and type the greeting is the string type, and also type for the string, and create for the curly braces. So first of all, here use for the if condition. In this condition, create for the greeting, and now first create the return. Okay, so return type, and then okay, so now this time, and first type the $, then curly braces. So in this insert create for the greeting, and again type for the curly braces, and now I'm create for the name. Okay, so here is the name, then last type for the semicolon. So in this statement is when suppose in this statement is not working, so I'm going for the create the else statement. Okay, so the else statement again type for the return. Okay, so in this return, and then create for is hello. Okay, it's hello, then also type for the $, and then index the suppose create the function name. Okay, so the name, and create for the semicolon. So here completely create for the optional and the default parameter section, and now I'm create for the const. Okay, and then type for the custom for greeting. Okay, is a custom greeting, create the string, then is equal. So now create for the greet with options functions, and in this insert create for the parenthesis, and also type the double quotation. So first of all, I will type the TypeScript, and again type for the greeting. Okay, it's a greeting, and last create for the semicolon, and the name is for the print function is console.log, and create for the parenthesis and call for the custom greeting. Okay, and lastly for the semicolon. So complete for in this code, and in this function falsely create the greeting is in the optional parameter denoted by the question mark, and it provides for is used for other words the default greeting is used. Okay, so now I'm save this code and going for in this terminal. So first of all type the first command is tsc for app.js, and append for the new command. So here just append, so now I'm just type for a node, then app.js, and press for the enter, and perfectly sure for the output is greeting TypeScript. Okay, so this is the output. So in this session for the journey, the concourse journey, the TypeScript function. Okay, so if you find in this tutorial more helpful, okay, so thank you for watching and happy coding for the TypeScript. Welcome back to this another tutorial. So it's a fascinating world of TypeScript casting. Okay, so buckle up as we explore how to avoid the power of the casting in the TypeScript to make a code more flexible and expansive. So first of all, understanding the TypeScript for the casting. So the casting is a powerful tool in the TypeScript, allowing us to convert for variables from one type to another. So this can be specifically handy when dealing with a complex data structure or integrating with the external libraries. Okay, so first of all, create for the type of assertion. Okay, so let's get it started. So first of all, just type late, and then type is my, variable, okay, and then create for clone, and then type is any, and is equal creator for the suppose is type for is hello for TypeScript, okay. So now when this TypeScript is created, and then create for the semicolon, okay. So now again, and just type for a length, and then type is string length, okay, string length. The length is for the number type, okay. Then create clone, and then parenthesis. So in this inside, first of all, inside is it for my variable for use as a function. The as is a string. Then outside create for the dot is length, okay, and create for the semicolon. So now I'm creating for the printf function is a console.log, and then create a parenthesis and call for the string length, okay. So now complete for this code. So first of all, here we have a variable for the my variable of the type of any, and we assert is a type to string using the as keyword, and allowing us the link property specific to a string, okay. So just take and show for the output. So I'm going for the terminal, and first of all type the tfc the for app.ts, and again insert for the command line. So now just type a node and then dot this and press for the enter. So perfectly here in this tasting. So in this code again save, so select all and save. Then again I'm just type for tsc for app.ts, then type for second command the node, then app.js. So perfectly here. So for the output, the length is 18, so this is the output. So in this the full step is completed, and then I'm going for the next step and create for the non-null assertion operator, okay. So when we are certain a value is in a null or undefined, so the type is created provides a non-null assertion operations to tell the compiler to trust as the bot B. Notice the misusing it can lead to the runtime error, okay. So first of all, I'm going for in this code inside and create a falsely, then I'm just okay. So first of all, remove for my variable, and then here I'm creating for the possibly no, possibly null, and it's a string type, okay. It's a string, and this in this insert I'm creating for the or sign or insert the null value. So here I'm just print for the message. So in this type script, I'm first of all remove, and here I'm just type for I am not null, okay. So now this create perfectly, and here I'm just a type for the let length, okay. Then the length is a small board. Then here I'm going for the number, and so now first of all I'm just remove this, and here I'm just insert for the possibly null dot length, okay. So now this is created also in this length. So here I'm created for the console, then in this insert just type for the length, okay. So first of all, here in this create for the length is possibly is the null, and then again create for the string. So this is the null. So now we're going for the length and create for the length. Okay. So it's the number type. So So now in this code, I'm just select all and save and going for the terminal. So first of all, I'm just type for ts for app.ts, okay, and then here is a pen for the new command. So now I'm just type for the note and then app.js and press for the enter. So here in this, the length is not defined, okay. So because in this error, so here in this, the possibly it can be either the string or null, and we use for the null assertion operator and to assert that it's not null before asserting is the length property, okay. So almost is completed for in this code. So because here is in this code editor is not error, but in this terminal show for the error in this, the length is not defined, okay. So now I'm going for the next step. So I'm just type for the capital what is length, okay, and just again take this code. So first of all, I'm just ts for app.js. And then again insert for the next command for a node, then app.js. It's the same as is a result. The length is not defined, okay. So if this step is here is complete, so now I'm going for the next step and create for the as versus for the type syntax, okay. So the type is created for two syntax. For the type is assertion using as, and the angle for the bracket syntax. For the functionality equivalent, as the syntax is more commonly used specifically when working with ZSX, okay. So now I'm creating in this code. So first of all, remove this. So I'm just depend for on the new partial, okay. So in this code, so first of all, I'm just type let, and then type is value is clone for any, the equal. So first of all, I'm just a type for suppose is the type script or magic, okay. Create for the clone semicolon, and now I'm using for the as syntax, okay. So now first of all, I'm just type for late, then type is length, is a length, then type is for the s, okay, and kit for clone is the number, and is equal kit for the parenthesis. So first of all, I'm just type is the value, okay, and is for s is a string type, okay, and lastly kit for dot is length, okay, and kit for the semicolon, and now is for the else, then getter then sign insert for the type, okay. So now I'm again type for length, then type is the length for brackets, okay, as a brackets, then get clones. So it's both for the numbers type then is equal, and first of all, I'm just type for parenthesis and then type in this sign. So in this insert, I'm creating for the string, and also type for the value, okay, and also type for the dot is length, okay, and create for the semicolon. So now I'm creating for the print function is a console dot log, and in this insert two functions. So first of all, type is the length as, and also is for the length brackets, okay, and let's create for the semicolon. So in this code, we should case for both a syntax for type the assertion. so the zip for the same result, but as it's more widely adapted for this specifically in this JSX. Okay, so now I'm just save this. Okay, so first of all, select all and save, and going for in this terminal. So first of all, just type for tsc for app.ts and press for enter and open for the new command line. So now I'm just type for the node, then app.ts, okay, and press for the enter. So perfectly sure for the output is 60 by 60. Okay, is a 16 by 16 show for the output. So I hope you understanding in this station. Okay, so the TypeScript casting is demonstrating for in this the TypeScript world. So I hope you enter in and understanding for in this explanation for the station. So thank you for watching, and the JavaScript adventures until for the next time. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Come back to today's another tutorial. So in the session I'm created for the TypeScript classes. So the backbone of object-oriented programming in the TypeScript. So stick around as unravel the secret of creating and using classes. So now first of all, I'm creating a simple classes. So the class is like a blueprint for creating objects with shared properties and methods. So let's start with a simple example. So first of all, I'm creating a declaring a class. Okay, so first of all, I'm just a type is class for suppose the class name is car. Okay, and then create for the curly braces, and so now I'm just type for the field station. The type for is the engine. Okay, an engine is created and is the string type. Okay, so now I'm going for the next step, and now I'm just type for the constructor. Okay, the constructor, and in this insert create for the engine, then is the string type, and again create for the curly braces. Okay, so now I'm just type for is this dot engine, then it's equal type for again the engine. Okay, and it's complete for in this constructor, and now I'm creating for the function. Okay, so first of all, I'm just type for the DSP and create for the parentheses and create clone. So now I'm just type for the void and create for the curly braces. So now I'm just type for the print function is console.log, and here I'm falsely type is the double quotation, and then type for engine is and create clone. Then now I'm type for the plus sign and type for this dot engine. Okay, so now completely created for my first example for declaring class. So this class has a string name for the engine, and the variable keyword is not used while declaring a field, and the example above declare a constructor for the class. Okay, so now first of all, I'm just save this code and just open in this. So now I'm just type for tsc then app.ts. Okay, so here in this create for only the class. So now I'm just type for node then app.ts again and press for the enter. So here is only declare for the class because, and here is not sure for the output. Okay, so here is only use and declare for the class. So now I'm going for the next step and creating for the instance object. So to create an instance object class, use the new keyword followed by the class name, and syntax for the same is given up. Okay, so the new keyword is the responsible for the installation, and right hand side of expression invokes the constructor, and constructor should be passed values if it parameterized. Okay, so now I'm only create this here, create for the class. So here previously I'm used for engine this constructor and simply create for the function. So in this instance I'm just type for the engine is okay. So here I'm type for the function is a typing mistake. So and see the function space for this place Asian is, and this is, and now I'm create an object. Okay, so here first of all type for is var then obj for the object. Short form is equal. So now I'm type for the new keyword, then now I'm just type for the car, and here type for the double collision, and okay, so now I'm just type for is xx for sy1, okay, and now I'm going for the next line and create for access the field. So first of all I'm just type is console dot log, and then type for the parentheses and the double collision. So here I'm just type for is the reading attribute build value and then as, and then type for the plus sign and call for the object class dot engine. Okay, so now it's created, and now I'm just create for the access the function. So first of all I'm type for the object dot type for the DSP and then parentheses. Okay, so now complete created for the creating instance object. Okay, so now save this code and going for in this terminal. So I'm just type for tsc then app.ts, okay, and press for enter. So here's open for the new command. So now I'm just type for node then app.js, okay, and press for the enter. So perfectly show for the output. This is the output for the reading attribute value engine for xxsym, and the same as the function display engine. Okay, so this is the output. So here in the section I'm also create for the class inheritance. Okay, so the TypeScript supports the concept of inheritance. So the inheritance is the ability of a program to create a new class from an existing class. Okay, so the class that is extended to create for a new class is called the parent class or superclass. Okay, so now a newly created class and called for a child the subclasses. Okay, so first of all here I'm creating for the class inheritance. Okay, so now first of all just remove in all code. Okay, and now just type for the new class for class and then type for the shape. Okay, and create for the curly braces. So in this insert I'm type for the area, for area is number. Okay, and now I'm create for the constructor, then create for parentheses for a is clone for the number, and create for the curly braces. So now here I'm forced to type in this dot and call for in this area is equal for a. Okay, and this is a constructor is completed, and then in this insert I'm create a force the class then circle for extend the shape. Okay, and kit for curly braces. So first of all I'm just type for DSP parentheses clone, then same as it for previous example. So now I'm just type here the console dot log, and then create for the message is area of the circle. Okay, and create for the column, then here I'm just type for plus sign, and then this function is for call the area. Okay, and now in this completed and in this offset I falsely create the variable for object then is equal use for the new circle, and now I'm insert suppose here the 2 to 3. Okay, and let's get for the semicolon, and here I'm just call for the object dot DSP function. Okay, and get for the parentheses. So now completely create for the class inheritance, and just save this code and going for the generated and in. So now I'm compiling and it will generate for the Java, okay, JavaScript code. So now I'm just type for tsc, then app.ts, okay, and press for the enter, and open for the new command. So now I'm type for the node and then app.js, okay, and press for the enter. So here perfectly show for the output. The area of the circle is 2, 2, 3. Okay, this is the output. So in the session for the TypeScript classes, completely created and show for the output in on the screen. Okay, so I hope you enjoy in this session and perfectly create in the TypeScript for the classes. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Hello, welcome back to today's another tutorial. So in this session, I'm created for the TypeScript generic. So the generic allows us to write the flexible and reusable code, and then stick around as we demonstrate the basic created. So first of all, I'm just understanding the generic. So the generic provides a way to create for functions and classes that can work with any data type and adding a layer of the flexibility and type safely. Okay, so this becomes more specifically handy when you want to write for reusable and type safe code without sacrificing the flexibility. Okay, so now first of all, create a simple generic function. So now let's get started. So here first I'm create a simple generic function, and this will give you a taste of how generic work in the TypeScript. Okay, so first of all, just type for is a function, and then type for is the equal. Okay, and then create in this insert for the T for the TypeScript. So here I'm just type for the parentheses, and in this insert I'm just type for the value. Okay, and create a clone for the T. So here is again for T, then type is the curly braces. Okay, so now I'm just use for the return, then return for the value. Okay, and next I'm using for the generic function. Okay, so first of all I'm just type at the construct, then type for the result. Okay, and kit for is the equal, and here I'm just type for the message is hello for the type, but that's correct. Okay, and then it's complete for this, and lastly create for the semicolon. And now I'm create for the print function is console.log, and call for in this the result function. Okay, and then semicolon. The first example, I'm just define a generic function for equal that takes take a values the type T and return the same type when we use these functions with a string. So it equals back strings. The magic here is that it works with any data type. Okay, so now I'm just save this code and going for the terminal. So first of all, I'm just write the first command, the tsc for app.ts. Okay, press for the enter and open for the new command. Okay, so now I'm type for the node and type for app.js. So it generates for the JavaScript code. Okay, so now press for the enter. So perfectly sure for the output is hello TypeScript. Okay, so now I'm simply created for the generic function, and now in this generic function how to working with classes. Okay, so the generic aren't just limited to functions, so you can use them with classes too. Okay, so let's explore how to create for the generic class. Okay, so first of all I'm going for okay, so firstly I'm remove all code and create for the new code. So now I'm just create for the class and then type for container. Okay, the container, and now I'm create for less than greater than, and in this instead I'm just type for the T. I can create for the curly braces. So first of all, here I'm just type for in this a private value, okay, and create clone for t, okay. So this is created, and now I'm creating for the constructor. Then in this insert type the value for t, okay, and then create again for the curly braces. So now I'm used for the this function. So this dot value is equal for value, okay. And now I'm also create for the get a value, okay. So get then value parenthesis clone then t, and also type here the return then this dot value at semicolon, okay. And here in this case so create for the double, okay. So now this is create complete. So now here I'm also create for using for the now and use for the generic class, okay. So first of all just type for the constructor, and then type is the string for container, okay. The string container and equal use a new keyword. So now I'm just to type for the container, and in this insert create the type script is awesome, okay. And then now create for the print function. So firstly type is console.log, and in this insert I'm first call the string container dot use for the get value, okay, and get for the parentheses. So now complete for in this code. So firstly create the generic class the container that holds the value of type t, okay. So secondly the get value method types and returns the stored value. So when you create an instance with a string, so it gives us back the string, okay. So now I'm save all code and going for the terminal. So first of all I'm just type for ts then app.ts and press for the enter and open for the new comment, okay. So new comment open and type for the node then app.ts, okay. So it's generate for the JavaScript code, okay. So press for enter. So here popping issue for the output is JavaScript is awesome, okay. So this is the output. So in the session is already completed. So in the session create for the basic generate journey. So I hope you enjoy in this session and complete for your code. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Come back to today's another tutorial. So in the session for the most powerful word of the TypeScript, the integer for the type, okay. So these are the handy tools that can save your time and make your code more consistent and expensive. So let's stick around as we explore the master these utility types, okay. So first of all understanding the TypeScript for the utility. So before we get into the code, let's understand for what a type for the TypeScript is the utility types, okay. So the utility types are predefined for generic type is provided by the TypeScript to perform the common transformation on type, okay. So they allow you to manipulate and compose for type in a clean and efficient way, okay. So now first of all create for the exploring some utility types, okay. So first of all create the partial utility types. So here in this visual code editor, first of all type the interface, and also type here the class is user, okay. Then create for the parentheses, and first of all declare the name. So the name is the type is string type, and also type for the age. The age is the number type, okay. And then going for the next step, and first of all, I'm just create the type, and the type is partial user. Okay, partial user, and is equal. Just type again the partial. So it is partial, then less than, greater than sign. Insert create for the user. Okay, and now create for the construct the partial user. So first of all, the type is construct, and then type the partial user, then again type as the partial, okay, the partial user, so here is the partial, and also type here as the user. Okay, and now get for is equal, and here first of all declare only the name. Okay, and here in this name and colon, so here just insert the name, suppose for Shohan. Okay, and is the name is already declared, and then I'm going for the print function. So first of all type the console.log. Okay, and in this insert called for the function is the partial user. Okay, so in this, okay, so first of all here type for the small p, and then create for the user. Okay, and then going for in this console insert, and then type first of all the partial user. Okay, and get for the semicolon. So in this code, and the example, first of all use the partial utility type to create a new type of for the partial user, and this type allows us to create for the object with optional properties. Okay, so the Aliases public property is not required, so giving is the flexibility in our code. So first of all just save in this code, and going for the terminal. So first of all type the first command, that tsc for app.ts, and paste for enter, and here open for the any command line. So now insert firstly the node, and then type for the JavaScript, and declare so now app.js, and paste for the enter. So here's perfect issue for the output. The name is Johan. Okay, so this is the output. So next one create the TypeScript for the utility is read only type. Okay, so now first of all remove in this code. Okay, so now in this first type is type, and now I'm used for the immutable user. Immutable user, and then get for is equal, and then type the read for read only, then get for not space less than greater than, and in this insert just a type for the user. Okay, and now next line created for the constructor. Okay, see here first of all just a type is the construct, and call for is the immutable user, and clone, and also type. So here first of all just type for this small word I, then going for again and just a type for the immutable user, and then is equal. So now declare for both name and age. Okay, so first of all just type a name for clone. So here declare all the name is Johan. Okay, and now insert for the age. So the age is 25. Okay, and last one, create for the semicolon. So here in this code for the constructor is the unconnecting the line below will result in a complications error. Okay, and now I'm just taking take for this result is error or not error. So now first of all I'm type the command that you see, then app dot yes, and press for the enter. So append for the new command, then I'm type for the node, then app dot this. Okay, and it indicates for the JavaScript code created. So press for the enter. So here is only show for the previous example output for the name is Johan. Okay, so here is not declare for the is. Okay, so in this immutable user for the read only types is not working. Okay, so in this the read only utility type create for the immutable user, and this time ensure that once an object is created, so its properties cannot be modified. So as assuming the change is property result in a completion error. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this session completely rated. So in this JavaScript, a developer for the utility types are the powerful tools for in-your JavaScript external. Okay, so thank you for watching and happy coding. Hello everyone, come back to this another tutorial. So in this session, I'm creating for the TypeScript the Keyof operator. So join me as I'll look at the power of index type and see how the Keyof can level your TypeScript level. Okay, so first of all, into the TypeScript key is a clearance staging. So in this Keyof operator in TypeScript is use two option Keyof object type, and it allows us to create a full dynamic and type safe code by extracting the key from the existing type. Okay, so first of all I'm just create in this code and show for the output. So here I'm create for the basic key of operator. Okay, so now first of all I'm just create the type, and the type create for the class for person, and create for is equal, then parenthesis. So first of all here I'm to declare the three variable. So first of all I'm just type this name, the name is string type. Okay, and also create for the age. So the age is a number type, and another variable for the address. The address is a string type. Okay, and then semicolon. So here is declared for the basic field of users. Okay, so now I'm creating again the type of function, and first of all type the person, and also type for is the key. Okay, and is equal. I'm just type the Keyof function and call for the person class. Okay, so here in this person is indicate for the name, age, and address variable. Okay, so next line I'm creating for the construct. Okay, and then create for is key and create clone. So now I'm called for the person keys. Okay, and then I'll insert for the name. Okay, so this is created. So here is unconnecting the line below will all result in a compiler is an error, because here I'm not sure for the output and not used for the print function the console. Okay, so in this example I'm just define an object type the person with the properties name is an address. Okay, so the Keyof operator is then used to create a new type for the person key, and representing for the union of key from the person type. Okay, so you can see that attempting to assign an invalid key like the upgrade and trigger a compilation error. Okay, so I'm just take it. So first of all, I'm just type tst, then app.ts. Okay, and press for enter. So open for the new command and type for node, then JavaScript code extension for the app.js. So press for the enter. So here it's only use okay. So first of all, just save and then open for the new terminal and then type here the tsc, then app.ts, and again open the command. So here type for node app.js. Okay, so here is create for the compilation error because here in this terminal not show the output. Okay, so I'm going for the next step and create for the key of with the explicit key. Okay, so in use one an object type with the explicit key, the key of create a union type of this case. Okay, so I'm going for here in this code inside. So now first of all, just remove type and then here insert the interface. Okay, the interface for person. So I'm real for remove parenthesis equal, so I'm only use for name and age. Okay, so now this interface, the person object is created, and now I'm created for the function. Okay, so first of all, I'm just removing this code. So now I'm type the function for here I'm use the print. Okay, print for person. Okay, the person, and also type the property. The property, and in this insert, first of all, create the person object. Okay, and create clone, then type the person object, and also create the property. Pro is a property, then create for clone. So here in this the property I'm create for the key of person. Okay, in this person, and now create for the curly braces. So in this insert, create first the console.log, and then type for the single condition inside. So here is for the sign. Okay, so now I'm just type for the person property is a person property and then a space. So first of all, I'm create the $, and index insert I'm create for the property. Okay, and I'm create for the clone, and again use for the table collision insert create falsely the $, and create for the index opening and closing, and in this insert I'm create for the person object, and then a person object insert created for the property. Okay, so this is this code is created and last one created for the semicolon. Okay, so now here use and create for the key of person, and create a unit type for the name and age, and other string for will. Okay, so in this section is completed, and then going for the next section, create first the late. Okay, and late for the person, then is equal create. Okay, so here create for the curly braces. So now just insert first the name is Smith, okay, and also create the age is 25, okay, and the next line create for the semicolon, and here a last line I'm create for the print, okay. So now I'm just type for the print person property, then create for the parenthesis insert I'm create a person, and so for the name, okay, the name object, and then create for the semicolon. So now in all code is created completely. So first of all I'm save in this code, okay, and then going for the terminal. So now I'm again type for the command is a tsc, then app.ts, and press enter. So open for the new command. So now I'm type for node, then app.js, okay, and press for the enter. So perfectly show for the output is the person property name is Smith, okay. See here I'm just a type for then age, and then terminal show for the output the age is 25, okay. So I'm completely created for in this the key of a TypeScript. So the TypeScript is the key of is a versatile operator that opens up the new possibilities in a type for safe programming, okay. So I hope you enjoy in this session completely created for in this code. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Hey future developers, welcome back to today's another tutorial. So in this session 4 is a more deep into the world of the null and the undefined in the TypeScript. So buckle up as we explore their nuance and use cases and best practice. So let's jump right now, okay. So first of all, understanding the null and undefined. So null and undefined are the two special type that represent the appearance of a value. So they are often used to indicate that a variable or the property does not have a meaningful value, okay. So while they may seem similar, so they have a distinct use case and behavior, okay. So now I'm create the null and undefined in script. So let's just start with the practical example, create a house in simple and undefined we have in the TypeScript, okay. So first of all I'm create the basic uses and the null and undefined value. First of all I'm just type is let, and then type for a variable 1, okay, and the variable is the string type. So then is equal. So first of all I'm just type the double quotation, and then insert create for the hello is a type the TypeScript, and then create for the semicolon. So I'm just taking a type for let, and then insert for the variable 2, okay, and it's both for string type. Then now I'm using for the or operator, then create for is null, then is equal for null, okay, null is equal to null. So the next step I'm going to type for let, and then type the same as it is for the variable is 3, and it's also for the string type, and then I'm again created for the or operator. So now here I'm created for the undefined is equal to undefined variable, okay. So now I'm created for the semicolon. So here I'm created for the print function is a console.log, and now I'm just open for the variable 1 length, okay. So in this insert create for the variable 1 dot length, okay, and create for the semicolon. So first of all I'm created for the 3 variable. So the variable 1, variable 2, and the variable 3 is a string type create, okay. So the variable 3 which the type is a string undefined. So try to access the length property of the variable 2 or the variable 3. The typically would result in completion error. Okay, so now I'm save this code and going for the terminal. So first of all, I'm create the first command and then app.js. Okay, and paste for enter. So here open the new command line. So first of all, I'm just type the node and then app.js. Okay, and paste for the enter. So here prefix for the output is 18. So this is the hello type is the script. The length is 18. Okay, so the first step is completed. So next step I'm created for the nullish for the whole scene aperture. Okay, so in the station I first create the nullish for the whole screen aperture. So first of all, I'm just here in this. Okay, so in this two variable, variable 1 and 2 I'm remove. Okay. Then here first of all I'm type this left and then create here for the username. Okay, user name variable, and it's a string type and it's declared for the undefined variable. Okay, and the next line I'm again create for the late then type for the default username. Okay, default user name. Okay, and create for colon is also for the string type. So now just a string type create for suppose create the case. Okay, so now this created and then semicolon. So now in this to a variable I'm define first type the list and let insert I'm created for the final user name. Okay, it's the final for user name. Okay, and kit will equal, so now I'm here insert the username. So I'm used for the double question mark and this kit for the default user. Okay, so now I'm going for the in the console log and print function. So here I'm append for the final username. Okay, so now in all code I'm save. So first of all here I'm use the knowledge operator to provide a default value for the username. So it's a defined undefined. So this is the constant way to handle the absence of a value, so while avoiding for the unintended failback for falsely values like an M testing. Okay, so I'm just checking in this code. So again save this code and going for the terminal append. So first of all I'm type the first command and app.ts for the TypeScript code, and next append for another command. So here I'm type for node and app.js. Okay, and press for enter. So perfectly sure for the output is guessed. Okay, so now it's perfectly used for the knowledge operator. So in this session I'm already perfectly created for is it just leveled up for your TypeScript code, and when it comes to handling null and undefined variable. Okay, so I hope you enjoy in this session perfectly create your code. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Hope you will come back to another tutorial, so where we will be delving into a powerful tool in the TypeScript for the ecosystem. So definitely type. So if you are ready to super change your TypeScript project with a high quality type definition, so you're in the right places. Okay, so now let's get started. So first of all I'm just short discussion for the definitely type. Okay, so the definitely type is an open source repository on the GitHub, the host for the high quality TypeScript type definition for popular JavaScript libraries and frameworks. Okay, so it acts as a centralized hub for the community control type definitions and ensuring a seamless TypeScript experience when working with a third-party JavaScript library. Okay, so first of all, I'm installing for the definitely TypeScript. Okay, so here first of all going for the cmd for the command prompt open. So now here I'm insert for the command. So first of all, I'm just here the npm and then type the install. Okay, and press for the double dash for save, then dash is div, and then a space create for the average. So now I'm just type for the types, then slash for low dash. Okay, and completely inserted for in this command. So now I'm just press for the enter. So here is starting for in this installation process. So here I'm just using for the npm to install the definitely type, the definition for the Lotus library, and the convention is used to add the rate type the followed by the library name. Okay, so they ensure that the type is create recognition that a type definition. Okay, so I'm completely installed for the npm. So I'm going for in this VS Code inside. So now I'm create for the leveraging definitely typed for the TypeScript. Okay, so first of all, use the definitely type for the types in the Lotus. So here I'm first type the import and type for store and use for as, then a space dash. Okay, underscore dash used for the from. Okay, and single quotation inside kit for the low dash. Okay, and kit for the semicolon. So now I'm going for the next step, create for the construct. Okay, and create also the numbers. Okay, the numbers inside create for the number, then index. So here I'm insert for the index the total of 5 array. Now I'm just type for the value is 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, at next step I'm create again the construct, then use for the sum for the additional, the sum for the numbers. Okay, and create a equal. So here first of all I'm type the underscore, then type for a dot. So here I'm just type for this sum, then in this sum for the numbers value. Okay, and create the semicolon. So now lastly I'm create for the print function is console dot log and show for the output is some variable. Okay, and create for the semicolon. So now I'm saving this code. So first of all, I'm just imported for the Lotus library and is for the some function for the confidently. So knowing the TypeScript for the understand the types. So thanks to the definitely typed. Okay, so now save this code and going for the terminal. So first of all I'm type the tsc, then app.ts. Okay, and here open for the new command. So in this here, and there's a completion error. So the enhance for the code is the completion for the type taking and overall for the development experience. Okay, so here in this create for the Lotus and install for this the Lotus library. Okay, so I'm already completed in this. So here is create for the completion error. Okay, So in this for the definitely typed opens up a whole of the world of the possibilities for the TypeScript developers. Okay, so I hope you're understanding in the session. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Come back to today's another tutorial. So it's the most just a great update that TypeScript for the 5.x has offered. Okay, so if you are going to stay up to date with the cutting edge feature, okay, so first of all, I'm just introducing to the TypeScript for the 5x. Okay, so the TypeScript for the 5x being the several enhancement for bug fix and new feature that improve the developer experience and make for the TypeScript for even more powerful. Okay, so from the improved control for analysis scripture take and TypeScript for 5x has a lot of offer. Okay, so first of all, I'm created for the scripture takes and control for analysis. Okay, so first of all, I'm create the function and create also the grid. Okay, and in this insert now I'm create for the name and use for the question marks, then clone, so it's the string type. Okay, now I'm create for the curly braces. So here inside I'm create for the construct for call the greeting function. Okay, is greeting equal, so first of all I'm create this, and here inside I'm just type for hello, and then create for $, and in the index inside I'm create for the name. Okay, so now this created and then semicolon. So now I'm used for the print function is console.log, and in this insert create parentheses and also create for the greeting. Okay, and now I'm just create for the object is possibly for undefined, so now take it. So lastly I'm create for the great function and create for the parenthesis. Okay, so here in this code is created. So now in this the TypeScript for the 5x, now it takes for more reuses and now name syntax for the indicates that we are sure for name won't be null or undefined, so without providing a name, and the TypeScript for erase an error and ensuring for save code. Okay, so now I'm just save this code and going for the terminal. See here I'm just open for the TSC, press enter, and now I'm just going for done and then run for the start debugging. Okay, and just show for the start debugging console. So here perfectly show for the hello, so it's declared for the undefined. Okay, so this is about the output. So I'm going for the next step, and here I'm just create for the improved for error message and making for it easier to developer to understand and the address issues. Okay, so first of all I'm create for the TypeScript 5x provides for the clear error message. Okay, so first of all I'm going for in this function inside. So now firstly remove this. Okay, so here the first create the function, then add. Okay, function add, and firstly create parenthesis for a is clone, is the string type. Okay, and another variable for b is both the string type, and now create for the curly braces. So here I'm using for the return type value, so here's the create for the a addition b. Okay, and now I'm create. Okay, so I'm type for b and then going for here. So now I'm create the construct. Okay, so in this construct and then type for the result. Okay, so now it's equal, so I'm just type for add, and now I'm declare for the variable value for 10 and 20. Okay, and then key for the semicolon. Okay, see here it is declare for the construct the result and use for the add function for 10 and 20. Okay, so here is a declare for the error argument of the type of the number. Okay, so in this the TypeScript for 5x delivers the more precise error message. So here is already on error. So is the argument of the number is not accessible to the parameter of the type of string. Okay, so here in the assign the parameter explicit distinct this clarity for equalities the debugging process. Okay, so next one I'm create for the template string parent the index signature. Okay, so now I'm just to create for the index and string pattern. So first of all, remove for in this function. So first just create the type and also create for here I'm used for the dynamic colors. Okay, dynamic then colors. So now in this dynamic color is declare and then create for the color braces. See here first of all use the key. Okay, and then clone. So first of all use the color for is the busy for background, then dash create for the $sign, and it's a $sign create the index for is type for the string type. Okay, and the close for in this index and outside create clone, then is also the string type. Okay, and now going for the next line, and here just create the construct. Okay, and then insert for the colors and clone. So just call for dynamic color is equal create the color basis. So first of all in this insert create for the single conditions, then used for the color is busy dash red color. Okay, clone. So now is for the horizontal color for double F and 0. Okay, and is for once more color. So first of all just type for double condition, and in this insert kit for busy dash glow. Okay, and again for it's the same as it is processed. So create for the single condition, and in this insert first of all type is for 0 then double F. Okay, so now this color is inserted, and then going for the next line is for the print function for console.log, and in this insert first of all declare the colors, and the colors open for the red color. Okay, so first of all type the single condition for busy dash red. Okay, so now complete my code. So first of all in this example created for the template string a pattern and just for the signature. So we can define for the dynamic key that follow a specific pattern and enhancing the expressiveness of our type definitions. Okay, so now I'm just save this in this code, and again for the terminal. So now I'm just type for the command for TSC and paste for the enter. Okay, and going for the run and debug. So I'm just run and start debugging and show for the output into the debug console. Okay, so perfectly show by the color is double F and 40. Okay, so this is the output. So in this session I'm completely create for the update the TypeScript 5x. Okay, so I hope you're understanding in this session I'm completely created in this code. So thank you for watching and happy coding. We'll come back to this another tutorial. So in this session I'm created for the TypeScript for watch mode. Okay, so I think you are a beginner and understanding for watch mode can significantly boost your productivity. Okay, so first of all the introduction to the TypeScript for watch mode. Okay, so the TypeScript watch mode is a feature that allows and the TypeScript to watch your project file for a change and automatically recompile them as we make edits. This means you can focus on writing code, okay? And the TypeScript then takes care of the keeping your compiled JavaScript up to date, okay? So first of all, I'm created for the automatic completion on file changer for the what mode, okay? So let's witness the magic of what mode in action. So we will make a change to our TypeScript file and observe the automatic completion, okay? So first of all, just the type is late, and then type 4 is also the message, okay? And create in this string, okay? So now I'm just create is equal. So in this insert, first of all type the double quotation, and first of all type the hello for what mode, okay? What mode, okay? And then last one type the semicolon. So I'm just show for in this message. So first of all, just type the console.log, okay? Is a most simple problem, and in this code is completely easily created, okay? So just type for the message and then create it for the semicolon, okay? So just save in this code. So first of all, save this file and TypeScript what mode directly the change and recompile the code automatically, so no need to manually trigger the completion process. Is seamlessly and efficient, okay? So first of all, I'm going for the terminal and just here open for the TSC, okay? Then hit F4 enter. So now I'm going for in this the run and start debugging, okay? So I'm going for in this the debug console. So perfectly sure for the output is hello what mode, okay? So this is the output. So next one, also discuss and kit for the handling errors and the output. What would also help you to catch error quickly and provide for the informative output, okay? So here, unfortunately, type in this late. So just change for the message and insert for the count, okay? And in this insert, create a string count for the number type, okay? It's a number. So this is declare and going for a thing here, and just call for this the numbers, okay? So this is the number. So you can see, so here is declare for the type existing is not assignable to type to the number. So we intentionally introduce an error and what mode not only noted by as about the error and but also paint the specific line and making easier to choose on the fly, okay? So here, as you can see, here is show down the screen for the error. So I'm just remove this one, okay? So just remove a single just a type for let, then type is count, and then type for is number, and then declare. So first of all, here I'm just type for is hello, okay? And last one is semicolon. So here is again show for the error is count, because in this what mode for the notify by specific line is fixed the error, okay? So here in this declare for this string is not assignable for the number, okay? So I hope you understanding in this session. So it's the intentionally introduced an error, okay? So it's the owners of the TypeScript for the what mode, and by embracing what mode, okay? So you just streamline your development workflow and catch error early, okay? So I will be understanding this session. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Hope you'll come back to today's the tutorial. So it's the fascinating process the compiling TypeScript code. So understanding how TypeScript code to translate it into the JavaScript is essential for every developer. So first of all, understand the TypeScript compilation. Okay, so first of all, when you write the code for the TypeScript, so it needs to be translated into the JavaScript so that the browser and other JavaScript environment can understand and execute it. Okay, so this process is known as the completion. So first of all, I'm just configuring the TypeScript compiler option. Okay, so I'll start by looking at how we can configure the TypeScript compiler. So I'm already create for the tsconfig.json, and I'm again create for in this file. Okay, so first of all, I'm going for in this VS Code for terminal instead. And so here first type the command is the first of all type is T. Okay, so here first type the TSC, then space double dash. So I'm just type in it, then space dash create for source map. Okay, source map. Okay, and then again create for a dash and type for, okay, so is the root, then dir, okay, and create for src, then double dash and type for the out dir, and then type for the dist. Okay, so I'm just insert the command. See here in this the command for the create, so you can press 4 in this command and perfectly open and get for the tsconfig.json. Okay, so here's the file we specified the option like the target, the ECM is script version and output directory, the root directory of our source file, and enable stick type for tagging, and adjust the setting basic your project need. Okay, so I'm already declared for in this command, so you can see. So in this code, first of all, I'm just type open update for in this TypeScript. So here I'm declared for in this terminal create for this command and should perfectly create a new tsconfig.json. Okay, so this is my output. So you can perfectly type for this command. So in this command, perfectly type and open for your code editor for tsconfig.json. Okay, so in the first step is completed. So I'm going for the next step and create a project for the running the target script compiler. So let's see how to run the TypeScript compiler to convert our TypeScript code into JavaScript. Okay, so you can choose here only type for the TST. Okay, in the TSC and press for the enter. So perfectly open for your code for the run option. So the terminal you perfectly enter for in this TSC. So in this the running the TSC, the terminal compile for all TypeScript file in your project. So based on the configuration in the tsconfig.json. Okay, so this command generator for the corresponding JavaScript file in the specified for the output directory. Okay, so next one I'm created and see I create for in this code editor. I'm create for the simple code and show for the output on the screen. Okay, so I'm create for the compilation output. Okay, so let's examine the output of our compilation and understand with each file constant. Okay, so I'm just create a simple project. Okay, so like wing for here, then first of all I'm just type is let, then type for message is equal, then first of all I'm just double quotation, and in this insert create a for hello, and also create a for the type is create Typescript for the compilation. Okay, is the compilation. Then last type for semicolon. Okay, so now type for the print function is console.log, and in this inside declare for is the message. Okay, so now complete is a simple code created. So as you can see, the TypeScript code is transformed into the equivalent for JavaScript. Okay, so now just save this code and go for in this terminal and just the same press for TSA and press for the enter. Okay, so pen for the new command, and now I'm going for the run and debug, and so debugging press. So here is already insert a debug for output. So I'm going for the console. So show for the output is the hello TypeScript compilation. So this is the output. So this is the file of you would include for your HTML or use your Node.js environment. Okay, so I hope you're understanding in the session and complete create for in this process and perfectly created for your code and show for the output. Okay, so thank you for watching and happy coding. Hello, we'll come back to today's this tutorial. So in this session, I'm created for the aspect of the TypeScript is a completion, and now I'm created for the including and excluding file. Okay, so understanding how to manage your project for compilations process is the key. You're maintaining a clean and efficient code base. Okay, so first of all, just short introduction to includes and excludes files. Okay, so when working on a larger project, and you might not want to compile every TypeScript file every time. Okay, so includes and excludes help you to control which files are part of the compilations process and improving build times and reducing unnecessary work. Okay, so first of all, just configuring includes and exclude file in the tsconfig.json. Okay, so here's in this the tsconfig. So here then the before project created, so installed and created for the include and for is the code compiler. So first of all, here is declared just stop. So here is created for the compiler options. Okay, so in this insert create the target, outdir, rootdir, and then static. Okay, so here first of all the target, so this is the target for ES is 16. Okay, this is a JavaScript language version. Okay, so next step for the outdir. Okay, see here in this create for the module for common.js. Okay, and then create for the rootdir for source. Okay, and now I create already in this the for last one the is the outdir, and then create for source map is true, and lastly create the strict is true. Okay, so now in this the config.json is named for where specified that the TypeScript should include for files under the source directory, and is the subdirection dictionaries, and additionally we include. So now I'm include for here in this. Next here first of all just this comma, and then going for the next step. So first of all just a double quotation create, and in this insert first of all just the type is include. Okay, and then include insert first of all our type is a double quotation, then src for source slash and create for double str, then slash and again stir. And now I'm just create the file name is index.ts, okay? And now I'm just create for the exclude file, okay? So first of all, I create a double quotation and create the exclude, and in this insert, first of all, I'm just a double quotation and then type for note, then underscore, then modules, and also type the modules that previously created the directory, send the dictionaries for dist, okay? So now it's the completed. So in this code for save, so here additionally we are excluded for the node module and the dictionary from the compilations process, okay? So I'm already saved this code and going for in this tsc, press the enter. So it is completely perfectly saved in this and compiled for this. So I'm just going for a run and then start debugging, okay? See here in this cancel. So in this start debugging is completed. So I'm just going for in this TypeScript, okay? And here you can see create for the include and exclude file. So this dictionary for the exclude and the source the include. So in this insert, I'm creating for the file is the index.ts, okay? So perfectly in this open in this. So here in this compilations is already inserted. So here unfortunately the simple change. So here I'm just create for the compilations for successfully, okay? It's successfully, and press and save this code and just going for in this the run and start debugging. So here I'm just going for the debug console, and as you can see here in this output is completely here, okay? So I'm just again set this code, then going again for the run and start debugging. So perfectly sure for output is the hello is the TypeScript compilations, okay? So in this station is completed. So as you can see, the output is the reflect for the index.ts file from the source directory and the node module and the dst dictionary include from the compilations, okay? So I hope you're understanding in this session and gain for a valuable insight into the managing your TypeScript project compilation process with include and exclude, okay? So I hope you enjoy in the session. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Hold, we'll come back to this another two exciting tutorial. So in this session, I'm just going to explore an important aspect of TypeScript configuration, setting the compilation target, and understanding this setting is crucial for ensuring for the compatibility with a different JavaScript environment, okay? So first of all, this introduction to the compilation target, okay? So the target is specifier the version of ECMA, a script that the TypeScript compiler should generate. So it's essential to choose the right target based on your project requirement and the environment it will run in, okay? So first of all, I'm just configuring the compilation target in the tsconfig.json file. So now just open in this file and how to config for the target the tsconfig.json file, okay? So first of all, I'm just in open. So here first the compiler option method here the declare is created for the target. So here the target is ES16 version, okay? So next time is search for the out there. Okay, so it's the dictionary. So here just scroll. Okay, so perfectly this the out there is specified an output holder for the imitate file. Okay, so next to on root there. So here in this the root there for the source specify root folder within a source file. Okay, and lastly the script. So I'm just scroll down and then just search for this strict is true. So it's enable for all strict type taking option. Okay, so in this the Typescript compiler to generate the EC script for 5 configurable JavaScript code. So you can choose for different target based on your project. It's such as ES6 or ES 2015 or the ES next. Okay, so now I'm just to create for the compilation target impact on code output. Okay, so now let's see how this compilation target affect the generated or the JavaScript code. Okay, so I'm just going for in this the app.js inside. So first of all, I'm just a type for a var, and then type is message that is equal. So now I'm just to create for hi Typescript Typescript is awesome. Okay, so now this is created, and then I'm just create for the semicolon, and now I'm just open for the print function create the console.log, and in this insert I'm just type for the message. Okay, so and then semicolon. So now I'm just save this code and then going for the terminal. Okay, so I'm just open for the terminal and falsely type the TSC. Okay, and press the enter. So here's open the new command and already is compiled in this code. Okay, so I'm sure for the output on this screen. So now I'm going for in this run option and then press for the start debugging console. Okay, so now it's a console in this code and show the output. So here is perfectly show the output is high. The Typescript is awesome. Okay, so this is the output. So in this session, I'm completely create this great and environmental the support for modern JavaScript feature. Okay, so I hope you in this session just learn how to configure the compilation target in Typescript and ensuring for your code runs the smoothly across for the different environment. Okay, so thank you for watching and happy coding. Hope we'll come back to today's and the tutorial. So today create and going to delve into the 2 important compiler option for the Rootdir and Outdir. So now understanding for how this option work is crucial for organizing your Typescript project. Okay, so first of all, I'm just understanding how this option work in organization the Typescript project. Okay, so now introduction to the Rootdir, the directory and out directory. Okay, so the root directory specifies the root directory of the Typescript source file, while the out directory determines the output directory for the compile the JavaScript file. Okay, so this option help manage project structure and organize your code base effectively. Okay, so first of all, I'm just configuring the rootdir and then outdir in the tsconfig.json file inside. Okay, so I'm just open in this file. So first of all, I'm going for the compiler option. Okay, so just scroll. So here in this the compiler option, and in this insert created for the Rootdir to the source So it's indicating that our TypeScript source file are located in source directory. Okay, so I'm just going for the root there. This is the root there. So this is, and next one is search for the outdir for the dictionary. In this, the out specify the compiled for JavaScript file should be placed in the BIS directory. And I'm just scroll. So here in this, the outdir. So this is the outdir. It's created for the tsconfig.json file inside, and now I'm search for the target. So I'm just use for the target is for 2016, and loosely I'm just create the strict for through. So now in this configuration is completed, and now I'm here in this the tsconfig.json file inside create for the overriding rootdir for a file. Okay, so first of all I'm just going for in this config inside. Okay, and then now first of all I'm just type the double quotation, and in this insert I'm just type for files. Okay, so first of all create the double quotation, and in this insert I'm create for the source file. Okay, so here is for the file option to include for the specific file in the compilation process. Okay, so then slash. So now I'm just type for app.ts. Okay, and now again create for the source file src, then slash. So in this inside override for the root TIDIR for this file, and handy way you have a file is scattered extras for the different directories. Okay, so in the source file in folder inside I'm good for the another folder name. Suppose create is the utils. Okay, so utils, and in this inside create for of file name for suppose create the helper dot ps. Okay, so now in this code for save. Okay, and going for the terminal. So here I'm just type for the TSC. Okay, and press enter. So here is in this configuration, and override for the root TR file is completely. And now in this file I'm just take here in this source file inside create for the new folder is the utils, and here inside in this folder inside create for the folder is this perfectly created. So this. Okay, so in the station is completely created for in this source for the utils, and then create for the here in this utils insert created for the helper.ts. Okay, so I hope you understand in the station. So here in the station I'm just create for the overriding the root dir for a file. Okay, so I understand you in the session. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Cool, we'll come back to today's another tutorial session. So in this session I'm create and explore a compiler option that can enhance your development workflow. Okay, so it's called for the no emit on error. Okay, so and it's all about controlling fault generation during compilation. Okay, so first of all, introduction to the no emit on error. Okay, so in this, for the no emit on error is a compiler option that prevents the TypeScript from the emitting any file if there are compilation error. Okay, so this ensures that you generated a for JavaScript file step for the synchronized with your error-free TypeScript code. Okay, so now I'm just configuring for no emit error in config.json file. Okay, so I'm just going for here in this config.json file inside. So now I'm just look at how to config for the no emit on the error. So it's a config.json file. So first of all, I'm going for here inside, and firstly going for the compiler option inside. Okay, so now here I'm just save for the no emit on error or S2. Okay, so I'm just search for no error. Okay, so I'm just going perfectly here. This is the no emit on error is 2. So now I'm indicating that the TypeScript should avoid for emitting files. So if there are any compilation errors, so this partially use to catch and address issues before the generating JavaScript output. Okay, so now in this just no emit on error and this no comment out. So now I'm just in this true for the comment out. Okay, so here in this running for the no emit on error functions. Okay, so now next step I'm create for the demonstration impact on the compilation process. Okay, so now first of all create the enabling for no emit or error affect the compilation process. Okay, so I'm just going for in this the app.js inside. So here first of all I'm just type for const and then type for message and create clone and it's a message for string type, then create is equal. So now I'm just type for hello TypeScript. Okay, so now in this TypeScript created, and then next step create for the console. Okay, so the console dot log. Okay, and then create in this insert just call for the message. Okay, and last one create for the semicolon. Okay, so here in this message, here in this error for the red clear block space variable. So and this for again comment down created. So now here, okay, I'm just comment out again and then going for in this code insert. So now I'm in this here, you can see here in this the emit for all error show the message, and now I'm creating for the another construct. Okay, so another construct, and now I'm creating for the number message. Okay, is a number message, then create clone and is a number, the number type, and then is equal, create for the table condition inside create not a number. Okay, so now when this code is completely created, so here you can see for the atoming for the compile with the no emit on error set is 2. Okay, so the set is true, and as you can see the compilation process is failed. Okay, so because here is in here show the error and due to the for introduced for the error. Okay, so with for no emit on error for enable. Okay, so now in this TypeScript does not generate any JavaScript file and ensuring that only error-free code is emitted. Okay, so let's to discuss some use case and base practice for the no emit on error in a project. Okay, so in this, the enabling for no emit error is the beneficial, the error only in the development process. Okay, so and here it helps for the maintain a clean and the consistent build for providing the generation of the enemies for the JavaScript file. Okay, so in the station is considered for the strict option. So here I'm just going for the config. So here it is the strict for session is for a robust for the development environment. Okay, so I have been understanding and learned about the no emit on error compiler option for the JavaScript. Okay, so I have been understanding in this code and find out a project error in this code. So here I'm just show for the two error. First error is the message, and second error for the numbers are messages. Okay, so thank you for watching and have a good day. We'll come back to today's the tutorial. So in the session and in this episode, I'm created for the script compiler option and explore how it can evaluate your TypeScript development experience. Okay, so first of all, understanding the strict compiler option. So the TypeScript that enable a set of strict taking option. So it's like for turning on a suite of advanced feature to catch potential error and enforce a higher level of code quality. Okay, so now first of all, I'm just configuring strict in the tsconfig.json. Okay, so I'm just refresh. So first of all, I'm just type for tsc and press for the enter. So here is configuring is the process completed, and then going for the tsconfig.json file inside. Okay, so here I'm just scroll. So first of all, stay for the compiler option. Okay, and now I'm just going and search for the strict mode. Okay, so I'm just here is scroll down, and lastly, okay, so here is you can see the strict is the 2. Okay, so it's type taking. So here's insert for the more package, so no implicit and strict null and new. Okay, so next one I'm just search for the target. Okay, see here in this target. Okay, this the circuit target. Just again scroll. Okay, so perfectly here is for the ES 2016. You can choose here use for the ES 5 or ES 2015 for as erase. Okay, so now in this the strict for 2. So this the type taking. So here in this strict is 2 and filling for the strict taking option. This automatically include for the several strict related class, ensuring a more robust type taking process during the compilations. Okay, so now I'm created for the strict taking in action. Okay, so let's explore how enabling the strict impact on your TypeScript code. Okay, so here first of all I'm just create a function. Okay, and then in this function inside I'm created for the add number, the add numbers. First of all I'm just insert for then clone. Here's the number type. Okay, and so now I'm just created for b, the type for the number, and here I'm created for the clone and also type for the number and created for the parentheses. Okay, so here in this number, so now first of all I'm just type for is return, and here I'm declare for a, and addition for plus sign is b. Okay, so now it's complete code and here's not error. So now I'm just create for the argument. So first of all I'm just type is construct, then type for result. Okay, and then create for clone, and also declare for the number is equal, and just call for the add number. So now insert for the sum value is first insert 5, and insert for the 10, okay, and then create for the semicolon. So now I'm creating for the print function is console.log, and create for and just show for the result function, okay. So here you can see for the on error, because in this number is not declared for the double quotation inside, okay. So in this argument, a type for this string is not assignable to the parameter of the TypeScript, okay. So as you can see, this string catch the error in our code. So when we attempt to add a number, and this string taking helps to prevent potential random error by catching this issue for during development, okay. So now I'll forcefully remove in this double quotation and completely error remove in this code. So now first of all, I'm just save in this code, and then going for the TSC and just show for the output on the screen. So now I'm just going for the run button and start for debugging the console, okay. So here in this console is debugging completed, and show here is perfectly show for the output is 50, okay. So in this station, create for the common strict operations, okay. So here in this enable, in this code for the valid code inserted when the enable for the strict from the beginning of your project to catch potential issues only, and generally it deals strict option if your project is already in progress, okay. And regularly review and refactor a code based on the strict taking feedback, okay. So here perfectly create for the explicit write rather than the defaulting to any, okay. And the strict null take as for the strict null taking, the preventing many a common pitfall related to the null and the undefined. So in the session, I'm completely create for null and undefined tutorials. So please take it. So I'm already completed for in the session. So here you are learned for about the strict compiler option in the TypeScript and how it can enhance the readability of your code, and it can understand for why remove for in this error. So I hope you are understanding in the session. So thank you for watching and happy coding. Hello everyone, welcome back to today's another tutorial. So in this station, I'm create for the TypeScript called quality option and setting that can elevate your code base by enforcing higher standard, okay. So first of all, I'm just introduction to code quality option. So it's a set up compiler flags that help enforce best practice and maintainability in your code. So this option cares for the optional issues, enhance types safely, and overall contribute to a more robust development process, okay. So first of all, I'm going for the tsconfig.json site, okay. So first of all, I'm just going the top, okay. So here in this step for compile option, okay. So first of all, I'm just take for the string is true or false. So here in this, the string is perfectly true is the type taking. So in this string for covered the same previous video, so it's a combination of the various script option ensuring a higher level of type taking, okay. So next one, I'm take for the no unusual used locals, okay. So I'm just here in this, I'm just taking So now first of all, open for the Control F press is fine. Okay, to Control F, and now first of all, just type for is no, then type is U. So you're in this the no unused locals. So here I'm just remove for in this the comment. Okay, so here this is the remove. Okay, so now next take for the no unused parameters. So this one. So here I'm again remove for this comment, and now next one I'm just remove for the no implicit returns. Okay, so in this true. So here, so now perfectly selected in these three options. So here just enable a fake code equality option in your tsconfig.json file. Okay, so here in this the no use locals for the flag is the variable helping you can your code base clean and removing unnecessary clutter. And next for the no unused parameter for the similar for the no unused local for but for the function parameter. Okay, so improving for the callability. Okay, so last one I'm comment out for no implicit return. So to ensure that all code path in function have a written statement this prevent for the international and undefined reader. Okay, so now I'm just to save this code, and now here I'm create for the is for the real world application. So now I'm going for the code app.ts insert. So here I'm create for the simple example. So first of all, I'm just a type is a function, and then type for is great. Okay, and then I get for suppose as the name. Okay, so name is string type. So in this outside I'm create for the clone, and again just a type for the string and create for the parenthesis. Okay, so now I'm just use for the console.log, and now create a for the hello. Okay, and space. Now I'm use for the plus sign for name. Okay, and create the semicolon. So now here in this the plus sign for name is the error function along the ending return statement and return type documentation. Okay, so now here create for the great function, and then create parenthesis. So in this insert I'm just type for the type script lover. Okay, so here in this the last one type for the semicolon. So first of all, here is already you can see here the error is inserted. So first of all, just create the function grade at the name and is a string type, and again type for the string, then console log for is the hello, because here is already error showing this string. So in this station for you can, as you can see here, use for the no implicit return option catch a potential issue and a missing return statement in our grade function. Okay, and this ensures that our function have a clear and expected return path. Okay, so now the short benefit for in this the no implicit return. So it's create for the enhanced code readability and maintainability, and prevention potential issues at compile time and regular level and review and refactor code based on feedback from code quality option. Okay, so now in this station I'm already declared and created, and by use the no implicit pre-instance and perfectly discuss this topic. So I hope you understanding in this station. So here in this, So I hope you complete error fix for your code and solve this problem. Okay, so thank you for watching and have a good. We'll come back to today's most important topic. So in this session, I'm curious for the explore how to debug TypeScript for Node.js applications using for Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I'm just stay for the Visual Studio Code inside. So I'm already installed and in this visual and setting up the TypeScript code. So and I'm going for the next step, and I'm just here config for the ps_config.json file for source map. Okay, so here the debugging for the TypeScript, we need to configure our tsconfig.json to generate for the source map, and source map allow us to the map for the TypeScript code back to original JavaScript during debugging. Okay, so I'm just going for the tsconfig and search for the source map is true, isn't true or not true. Okay, so it's false. So just scroll. So I'm just search for the source map. Okay, so I'm insert for the compiler option and just okay, perfectly in this source map is here perfectly the true. Okay, it's create the source map file for imitate the JavaScript file. Okay, so now it's setting for the source map is true. Our tsconfig.js and TypeScript will generate a source map is alongside the compile for the JavaScript code. Okay, so now I'm create a simple TypeScript the code for in this app.ts inside. Okay, so first of all I'm going for in this file inside and then falsely type the function, and now I'm used for the grade function. Since this insert I'm type for name. Okay, the name is string type, so I'm again type for the string and create the parentheses. So first of all just type is return, then type again here the hello. Okay, and also then I've typed for the $, then index inside I'm declare for the name variable. Okay, and then create for the semicolon. So now in this function for creating grade function is completely created, and then going for the next step I'm create for the construct result. Okay, so it's a construct for result. Okay, and then equal I'm just create for the grade, and then in this insert I'm just create for the message is TypeScript developer. Okay, TypeScript developer is perfect, and lastly I'm create for semicolon, and now I'm create for the print function is console.log. Okay, and then I'm called for the result function. Okay, so when this is completely created, so here in this example I'm create for the application is a simple function that create a developer and logs the results. Okay, so now I'm just stay for the Visual Code Studio, and I'm sure for the process is how can create for the debug is the VS Code. Okay, so first of all I'm just save in this code and then going for the terminal. So here I'm just first command is TFC, press the enter. Okay, so here is the console is terminal debug is completed, and then going for the next step is create for the run for the start debugging. Okay, so press this. See here incomplete for the debug the console, so I'm just depend for the debug console and show for the output. So here perfectly show for the output is hello JavaScript developer. Okay, so I'm completely create for the simple example for is debugging the JavaScript file. Okay, so I'm going for the next step and kit for the launch.json is debug configurations. Okay, so here in this the package.json is auto generated, so I'm going for here. So first of all, here auto generated for name and the version description main for the index.js. So here index.js is main, then is script, and then alter, and then license. Okay, so here in this the package JSON is configuration to specify the detail for debugging or TypeScript applications. Okay, so and make sure the program at the file path according to the project structure. Okay, so here in this the app.ts, I'm completely create the code, run the and debug option to start for the debugging. Okay, so here the Visual Code Studio insert show for the debug console. It's going to show the output for hello TypeScript developer. Okay, so now you're perfectly created for your debugging code and set up and debug a TypeScript for the Node.js applications in the Visual Code Studio. Okay, so I hope you're understanding in the session and completely creative this code. Okay, so thank you for watching and happy coding.